So you wanna trade options. In this video, I'm gonna break down the 5 mistakes that most option traders make so that you can hopefully avoid it so that you can make some money. Let's get into it. Hey, I'm Jason Brown, stock market coach and option trader, and you're watching the Brown Report, where we talk about all things investing, money mindset, and personal finance. So let's talk about the 5 mistakes that most option traders make. Mistake number 1 is that most option traders, especially if they're amateurs or brand new to the industry, the biggest mistake that they make is buying the wrong option. What I mean by that is they buy a call when they meant to buy a put, or they buy a put when they meant to buy a call, or they sell a call when they meant to buy it, and they sell a put when they meant to buy it. All types of combinations. The bottom line is that if you're not familiar with calls and puts and the strategies that you can execute with them, because you can be both bullish with calls or bearish with calls, and you could be both bullish with puts and bearish with puts, it could really confuse you when it comes time to execute a trade. In addition to being confused about calls and puts, if you're also not familiar with your brokerage account and how to execute trades, you could be buying when you meant to sell, or you could be selling when you meant to buy, which also could confuse you when it comes time to execute a trade with respect to calls and puts. So that's the number 1 mistake that most traders make, especially in the beginning. Okay, let's talk about mistake number 2. Mistake number 2 that most option traders make is buying the cheapest option. Most people look for the cheapest option and they believe because it's cheapest, that's the one that has to be for them. Well, the problem with the cheapest option is most of the time it's cheap for a reason. Let me give you an example. Let's say there's a stock trading at $100 and you buy a 150 strike price option. That means you have the right to buy that stock at 150. But here's the kicker. That option expires in 3 weeks. The reason that that option is so cheap or worth 10 cents is because the likelihood that the stock is gonna go from 100 to 150 and above in the next 3 weeks is unlikely. So buying the cheapest option is not always the best and smartest thing to do with your money, but most rookie or beginner traders, option traders, make that mistake is because they're not thinking about the strategy end of it. They're just thinking about what they can afford or how many option contracts they can afford, never really thinking that they're throwing money away or that the stock will never ever get there. Mistake number 3 is that most option traders or beginner option traders buy the most expensive option. It's the opposite of mistake number 2, where they're buying the at the money option because they figure, it's close enough. This is roughly where the stock is trading at, so why don't I buy that option? But there's a lot of times when you do the math on it where the at the money option is not the smartest one to go with, because that's gonna be the most expensive from a time perspective. So yes, if you go deeper in the money, there are more expensive options based on the price of the option, but we're talking about it's the most expensive option with respect to time value. Because remember, an option is made up of 2 components, the intrinsic and the extrinsic, or put another way, the true value and the time value. And the at the money is going to be the most expensive with respect to time value. And so that is one of the rookie mistakes that most beginner traders make that really may end up costing them or meaning a difference between them breaking even and actually making a profit. Mistake number 4 that most rookie option traders make is not buying enough time. See, most rookies come into this industry and they say, I only need a 1-week option or a 2-week option. I'm sure the stock is gonna move. I'm sure Tesla's gonna go to the moon. Right, I don't know, bring in the trading gods and some angels, right? They just believe that everything's gonna go to the moon. Maybe it is gonna go to the moon, but not in 2 weeks, okay? And so a lot of times, the real option that you might need may be a 90-day option, a 6 months, or a 1-year option, but most people don't want to pay the extra premium to have that time, and it ends up costing you dearly, because I see it all the time where someone has an option and they don't buy enough time and the option expires worthless, and literally the next day or the next week the stock goes to the moon just like they thought it was gonna do. The only problem is they ran out of time on the option that they own and they lost majority of their money in that position. Okay, mistake number 5. This is a big one that not only rookies, but sometimes experienced traders make this mistake, and that's not having an exit plan for your option. Some people just buy a stock or buy an option in this case, since we're talking about the mistakes that option traders make, and they just think, I don't know when I'm gonna get out. I just wanted to be involved. I was making money. And so sometimes what they do is they watch the stock go all the way up, and they watch the stock go all the way down. And what's the problem with that? Well, if you own the stock, there is no problem because time isn't working against you. But when you're talking about options, every day that ticks off the clock is a day that's working against you because that time value is running out for that stock to do something or go to a certain price for you to make some money. So most people, especially the rookies, but even sometimes the experienced traders, they get into a trade with an option and they have no idea when they're gonna exit and get out, whether that's taking a profit or equally as important, knowing when they're gonna get out and take a loss. So I hope this has been educational for you. Don't make the 5 rookie mistakes and sometimes the mistakes that most experienced traders make. I want to help you avoid that so you can make some money. I'm Jason Brown. You're watching the Brown Report, and I'm signing off saying, remember, you never go broke taking a profit. I'll see you on the next video.